All right, so we're kind of catching back up. Um, so Hong Kong was pleasant, but then after that, in regards to training, it was just scattered and a bit out of the usual, a bit out of the the strategy that we have going. Um, but hey, we're back. This was the first training session back home, I believe. Um, and that's how I put the weight on me. Sometimes people will ask, so how do we get the weight on our laps? So you don't have to be that creep that's asking people at the gym to, you know, throw some plates on you. Excuse me, miss. Would you mind putting these on my lap? I want you guys to keep your gym memberships and, not be known as like that guy or gal. Um, but one thing about this movement is that you don't necessarily, it takes a while before you're actually putting some weight on yourself. And let's see what's different about it. Oh, that's right. So I'm kind of going neutral grip. It just happens to not bother my left elbow that's been giving me some issues for a minute there. And it was a misgroove on a dumbbell press a few weeks back that kind of started that. So for a minute there, I'm like, oh, maybe it's all this low barn I'm doing. But no, that was the culprit. And it's just going to be a minute, but honestly, just go easy on it for about another month, and I think it'll be back to where it should be, to where I can press comfortably and I can get myself a upper body. One thing that I do regret about not recording while I was training on the road a little bit more is that sometimes you have to improvise. And this right here is like so the inverted row is a great movement that you can take anywhere. And the same thing with this thing here. It's like, give it a try. Pause for this long. Do a calf raise. And first of all, you'll see how much you're actually using your Achilles tendon and other than your calf. And it's hard. So you'll see that, okay, after you get your 8 reps or whatever, you'll see that, oh, this is something that it's a very practical movement that like sometimes, like in this gym in particular, I don't necessarily like the calf machine. I also don't like standing calf raises where the weight is on your shoulders. It's like you're loading your spine even more for a movement that I don't think you necessarily have to do that. So I do it on the leg press typically. On this day it was taken. I didn't feel like waiting for it. So I just did these, and man, do they work like a charm. And it's something that when I am not at my home gym with my leg presses, the leg presses that I usually use to get my calf raises in, I will just do this. So this is something that I think it was actually last year when we were in Singapore. Eric showed me this one, and I was surprised. And the inverted row, same thing. So those are 2 movements that I picked up from Eric that look super easy, and then you do them, and then you're like, oh wow, this looks like a total mom exercise, but it's doing it. So yeah, calf raises. Give it a try, especially if there's no good contraptions in your gym. Or you find yourself in a gym outside of your usual gym, and it's one that you can take everywhere with you. Fits in any gym bag. So this is what I've been doing to improvise for the elbow. I can't press heavy, so instead we've been hitting lighter dumbbells and really like getting a good stretch at the bottom, making the limited load a little bit harder. So this is 75s, and then also I could probably, honestly, with this sort of form, probably hit up anywhere between 90s to 100 for this rep range, but it's also a load that isn't going to bother the area and have me take steps back when it comes to the recovery. So yeah, thus we're doing it this way, and who knows, I might even stick with these because I'm stubby, so it might look like man, that puts your shoulders in a position, but honestly, there's a lot of longer arm folks that kind of end up in that position just because of their dimensions. So maybe evens it out a little bit, and maybe I'll be able to get something new out of these dumbbell presses. I've never been a huge fan of my chest, even when I've been like really freaking strong. Just haven't, especially the upper portion. Hammer strength high row. So that's one of the reasons that I am coming back to Prodigy. I love the hammer strength high row. A lot, the thing is with hammer strength equipment, it's like it can be the same machine, but sometimes maybe this person has a 1995 model, this person has a 2005 model, and that's enough to like, something's different enough where it's like some of them are like super hard, and then some of them are just cake. This one's hard, so I can stick to that one and progress for a minute. Love the hammer strength high row. It's one of my favorite machines ever made, and we got a good one at this gym. Upright rows with kettlebells, love it, love it, love it. Key on this one is don't let that elbow go above your AC joint. Keep you safe from impingement city. I'm using this as a like trap or your delt, medial delt kind of thing. If I wanted to get more medial delt, I'd kind of have it out in front of me a little bit more. But in this case, yeah, I want like the back part of the shoulder and the trap to get most of the love. So this is how I've been doing it. Hey, you notice I put in some stuff that's not just squatting and deadlifts and good mornings. Just so you guys know that I do it. It's just that these are satisfying. The pump feels good, but at the same time, they just, you know how it is. It's those big movements that make you like drive like this, hands on the steering wheel like this on the way to the gym. Here's another one of my favorites. It's been a favorite for a long time. It's just your standard preacher curl with dumbbells, and yeah, I think honestly once we really like in regards to calories, I've just been kind of chilling here. Kind of wanted a little break from strategy. I hit my protein, 200 grams a day, but in terms of calories, at least for the next month, I'm going to kind of have them fit my appetite. I don't think I'm gonna get any leaner than this. I think this was enough. I went from 195 to I'm about low 180s now, and that's about as much as I need. Time to go back up and get strong and put myself in a position where I am maximizing my time spent outside of a contest prep. But hey, training right now, I'm all about that in regards to nutrition. Just kind of just chilling out, High protein, of course, 4 to 5 protein feedings a day, but sometimes we eat 4,000 calories, sometimes we eat 2,500 calories. Just kind of a little bit of a break. So deadlifts are, I'm done with those for just a minute. Main reason they came in, to be honest, because they're a blast, but then also I wanted to kind of give this hinge pattern a little break because, man, we've been doing some work. I think last November, 315 for a set of 7 was like a big freaking deal. And now this was 375 for, I think I got 3 or 4 sets of 6. So yeah, progress has been fantastic, but at the same time, I know how it goes, man. And sometimes you get a little greedy with your progress. You're like, okay, it's good. I'm gonna keep getting it. And one of those other structures outside of muscle says, that's it, man. I'm done. I haven't been happy for a while, and no one's been listening to me. And now you can't good morning for 3 or 4 weeks, 3 or 4 months, sometimes more. So we took it out for a minute. Now it's going to come back in. Holy crap, this is where I started. And honestly, about 2-3 reps left in the tank in every set. So yeah, man, I have dreams of 405, 4 sets of 5. Think about this good morning is like, if you know how to do it right, and especially with the low bar position, boy, you can use some loads just like you would with any other hip hinge. It's just, I think the appearance of it really freaks people out, but it's man, it's just man, it's been a game changer for me. And I think next time I diet down, that posterior chain is going to be something else, going to be totally different. I've never liked my legs from the back. Glutes, yeah, but hamstrings, not so much. I think that might be different next time. Man, check this out. So 495, so close to 500, 500-ish range for my top set, which I always do when I start my squats. Just hit a relaxed single at 8. I'm like, is this how it's going to be now? Is it always just going to be like close to 500? If so, I'm not going to complain, but I'm still kind of shocked at that. And this one, I think it looks a little bit heavier than an 8 RPE, but the clips on the right side, well, it pieced out on me, was not loyal, and And yeah, so what ended up happening is I could kind of feel in my back actually today. Things just slid, and it was a little bit harder than it should have been. Just remember coming up, and I'm like, man, what's up with my right leg? It's just lagging a little bit today. Yep. But again, the fact that with the plates falling on one side, and just on a casual day, just kind of barely getting back and getting my shit together after the jet lag, being able to do that, that's makes me excited about what's to come, and it makes me that much more patient. Yeah, at the same time, I want to rush it. I want to get to where I know I can get, but at the same time, I've yeah, you never want to get too high, and you never want to get too low. You master that, and a stoic lifter is a dangerous lifter. And then we got 405 for a few sets of 8, 3 sets of 8, and man, just again, it's seeing this, what I can do. I think honestly, I think we might have a squat in the deep 500s before this season's over, especially if I gain another 15 or so pounds. So stay healthy, stay patient, stay on track, stay objective, eat my protein, love, laugh. I can see it happening. I want to get jacked and I want to be a better bodybuilder, but you might as well get a little strong while you're there. It's kind of like when you see a powerlifter, right? And you're like, hey, you know what? You might as well get yourself, some pretty muscles. I mean, you're here anyways. You might as well doll up the thing, accessorize that powerlifting body. So yeah, that was that. The fluffy stuff after the squats. It was a quad dominant day, so we got some leg extensions, and not too exciting. Those are on my IG, so we're just gonna skip those. And actually, I cut it that way on accident. I didn't mean to do that. GHRs though, they look a little bit cheaty from this angle, but you guys will see the other angle, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing, Bert. But big thing here, and you can kind of see me doing it with my hands, is I want to keep my ribs down. Also, another thing I like about this one is that your calves get a little love, and you'll see it on the other angle. So you won't let the heel come off. You want to drive that thing off, and hey, I'm all for I don't see a bad thing about getting some biceps when you are doing your rows, or getting some triceps when you're getting your press. That's the thing with compounds, and not that this is necessarily a compound, but there is two joints kind of moving, so I guess you can argue that point, right? But yeah, it's a hips extended hamstring curl is probably the best way to put it, and you get a little calf action, and I need myself a little calf action. They're okay now, but nevertheless, I could use all the help. You'll see it from here. It's not as bad as it looks like from the other angle, but that's where I'm at. I'm just super happy, super content with the training, having a ball. But remember, I'm not going to get too high. This shit humbles you sometimes, man. And we're just going to keep having fun, be patient, and see where this bulking phase takes us.